I went in there with a plan because last time I went book shopping, I didn't go in there with a plan and I got overwhelmed immediately. But this time I knew it was going to be a really big Barnes & Noble. Let me sit back. I knew it was going to be a really big Barnes & Noble because I did my research. I knew that they had 2 stories, two floors. I was like, here are the books that I'm looking for, because I know when I see like a bunch of books, I'm not gonna know what to do. That still happened. Book haul time! Because I don't feel like driving in traffic right now. I don't. Honestly, I had a lot of fun, and also honestly, I really might go back tomorrow. I'm just gonna go in the order that the books are in the bag because I don't feel like taking everything out and trying to be specific. So like, I had to get it. That is beautiful. This is beautiful. Like I speechless. This is the second book in the Legendborn cycle, the Legendborn series, Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. I literally just finished book 1. So this book was now on my list of books to get today. This is Exhibit A. But like, come on, how can I pass this up? And it was like buy one get one 50% off, so I had to. So yeah, if you haven't read book 1, go watch my 24-hour reading vlog where I talk about what it's about and I talk about like what I think of it, what I thought of it. When that book ended, I literally was not expecting that. Like, it ended on such a this is to be continued. Oh, I just talked about that too in my August wrap up, so I did talk about my ending reaction. Yeah, so like, go watch those videos if you want to know more about the first book. The back of the book starts off as like, Aubrey wanted to do was uncover the truth about her mother's death, so she infiltrated the Legendborn secret society, this like secret society that's like descendants of King Arthur's knights, only to discover she has powers herself. This is not a spoiler. This was also in the back of the Legendborn, like the first book. It was also in that synopsis as well. But since discovering that she has ancestral powers, she is now something new. She has become someone new, and that's all I'll say because I don't want to spoil anything. This is the second book. Like, this is a beautiful book and I just cannot wait to read it. If you would like to see a reading vlog of me reading this book, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Otherwise, no. Okay, the next book, this is a new release. This is called The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Alison Espach? I don't know how to say that. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Sorry. Girl, The Wedding People. So it seems like it's a funny book. It's about this woman named Phoebe who shows up at the Cornwall Inn to like escape life and like get away. She's wearing this green dress and heels and like she doesn't even have a suitcase, okay? She just like showed up at this inn. Well, she's one of the only people there at the inn who's not there for the wedding. She's like the only one there who's not a guest, okay? She's like immediately mistaken by everyone like, oh, she must be like going to the wedding too. She must be like on the list. She's basically there because she dreamed of going there for years. It has nothing to do with this wedding that's also going there at the same time. She just wanted to like bathe in the sun, shuck some oysters, and take a sunset with her husband, but it turns out she's not there with her husband. That's probably some tea, but we gotta probably read to find out, okay? Meanwhile, the bride, it sounds like the bride meets Phoebe because like it's her wedding, I guess. And it sounds like the bride and Phoebe become friends. It says the bride has accounted for every detail and every possible disaster the weekend of her wedding, except Phoebe. Phoebe and Phoebe's plans, which makes it much more surprising when the two women can't stop confiding in each other. And like, that's what I want to know. I want to know like what they're talking about. I want to know what the tea is. I want to know, okay? I just want to know, so because I'm like low-key nosy. So okay, moving on. I had an indecisive moment. Per every video, low-key, like every video I'm like indecisive about something. So I was indecisive between these 2 books, same author, different stuff, but I ended up getting both of them because I like how it's like about 2 different things, like it's not the same thing, you know. So the one that was on my list for me to actually get was Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. What a cool name. It says death is only their beginning. So basically, it's about this dude named Wallace. A Grim Reaper comes to collect Wallace because Wallace like just died. But like, Wallace didn't even realize that he was dead until like he was dead. You know what I'm saying? It's giving like Soul from Disney. He was like, wait, I'm dead? Anyway, so when Hugo, this like tea shop owner, promises to help Wallace cross over, that's when he like realizes like, okay man, I'm dead. Like he decides like, I'm definitely dead. It says even in death, he's not ready to abandon his life that he barely lived anyway. And I'm like, isn't that relatable? But like, even in death, he's not ready to like actually die. Like he want to still live, even though when he was alive, he wasn't really living. That's some tea right there, okay? So when Wallace is given 1 week to cross over, he sets about living a lifetime in 7 days. And that's kind of how the synopsis ends. But I love that because it's like he has 7 days to like live, basically. And I just want to know what he does with his 7 days of living. And it just sounds cool. And like Under the Whispering Door, like, what does that even mean? What does that mean? And then the other book, this book has been trending on Goodreads for a while. The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. It's about this like caseworker. This is a magical world, okay? So this guy named Linus works in the department in charge of magical youth. So kids who have powers. At 40, he lives in this tiny house with this cat. He kind of has a boring life, right? But then he is summoned to go to this one house in particular that has 6 orphans. He is given a case that is like highly classified to travel to an orphanage on a distant island and determine whether these 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous that they're likely to bring about the end of the days. When he arrives at this strange island, he is greeted by a series of mystery figures. One being the master of the orphanage. His name is Arthur. And Linus and Arthur become close. Linus discovers that the master would do anything to protect these children, even if it means the world has to burn down. Or worse, his secret comes to light. What does that mean? The House in the Cerulean Sea is an enchanting love story, masterfully told about the profound experience of discovering an unlikely family in an unexpected place and realizing that family is your family. What? That sounds so good. Look at this cover. Like, his covers are like so whimsical and so beautiful. It's so whimsical and so beautiful. Like, why do all the houses look crazy? You know, like, well, I don't know. So I had to get both of them because my indecisiveness kicked in. Alright, the real reason why I actually went to the bookstore today was to get this book. It's called One Dark Window. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. Yeah. Now, I asked you guys on YouTube to pick which book I should read for like the fall series, my fall stuff. And so this is the first book I'm going to be reading in my fall fantasy series. But basically, this book is about this girl named Elspeth. Okay, whatever. It says Elspeth needs a little bit more than luck to stay safe in this town. This is giving gothic fantasy, okay? She needs a monster to stay safe in this kingdom of blunder. She calls this monster Nightmare, naturally. It's an ancient spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets, he keeps her safe. But nothing comes for free. Especially magic. You know, everything comes with a price. We learned that from Once Upon a Time. I used to love that show. I still love it. It's so good. Anyway, when Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the road, her life takes a whole different turn. She is now thrust into a world of shadows and deception. She joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder, the kingdom that she's in, of the dark magic affecting it. Except this highwayman turns out, guess who he is? You're never gonna guess. He just so happens to be the king's own nephew, the captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and he's guilty of treason. High treason, it says. It says a maiden must unlock the monster within to save her kingdom in this dark, lush, gothic fantasy debut. We love a good debut novel. This is a series. There's a second book, so yeah. I'm excited. So anyway, this is the book that got the most votes on YouTube for which fantasy fall book should I read first. And so, yeah, we're still not done, guys. Then I got, this was also not on my list, but I've been hearing so many great things about this book. It's called The Serpent and the Wings of Night. It looks so cool. I love this cover. It looks so great. But I had to get it because it's about vampires. And like low-key, I love vampires. It says for humans and vampires, the rules of survival are the same. Don't trust anybody. Never yield. And always, always guard your heart. For the vampires and the humans in the back, okay? So anyway, it says the adopted human daughter of the night-born vampire king. Her name is Aurea. Carved her place in a world designed to kill her. These vampires. She was adopted by a vampire king? What? I'm already intrigued, like... What? Okay. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. This sounds bad. Like, this sounds like it's not gonna end well. But winning won't be easy, obviously. She's among some of the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, she is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. This guy named Rene? Everything about him is dangerous. He's a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet, what terrifies Araya most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. But there is no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the Nightborn crown brews, shattering everything that Araya thought she knew about her home. And Rene must understand her more than anyone. And Rene, he understands her more than anyone. But their blossoming attraction could be her downfall. And in a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love, remember, guard your heart. Guys, I gotta go fast because my camera is about to overheat and turn off. Assistant to the villain. I've been hearing so many great things and it sounds so good. It literally says only the good die. Girl, what? These are some really cool covers. Like, look at that down there. And like, look at this up here. Like, it's giving like magical, you know? Like, look at how cool this is. This is such a cool cover. So Evie has a family that she needs to support. So her employment status is vital, okay? She gets a job offer to work with an infamous villain, okay? She has to say yes because she needs a job. No job is perfect, of course, but even less so when you develop a teeny crush on your terrifying, temperamental, and undeniably hot boss. This dude is evil, but he's hot. He's her boss. She's attracted to him. But just when she's getting used to severed head suspending from the ceiling and the odd squish of an errant eyeball beneath her heel, Evie suspects this dungeon has a huge rat, and not just like the literal kind. Because something rotten is growing in this kingdom, and someone wants to take the villain and his entire nefarious empire out. Now Evie must not only resist drooling over her boss, but also figuring out exactly who is sabotaging his work and ensure he makes them pay. After all, a good job is hard to find. And I was gonna say, and after all, she is his assistant to the villain. And that's all the books that I purchased today.